So we're going to find our bodies in a comfortable seated pose. Any easy seat that feels good for you, may you find your position as we are using that easy seat to help relax, wind down that mind and body. Spinal cords are nice and elongated, meaning we are not sunken, having that nice elongated spine, which means we push our pelvic bone forward. Shoulders relax downward away from our ears. Chin is slightly lifted. Eyes are gazed down and closed. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in deeply. Exhale fully. And taking a moment to notice how the breath relaxes and soothes the body. 3 breaths of silence. And we're going to take a moment to do a couple of circular rotations here at our hips, being mindful to tuck our tummy in at our navel, if that feels good, as we rotate. And just notice how the rotations feel in your hips as well as your lumbar spine. 4, 3, 2, and we're going to find that pause at 1 and rotate in the opposite direction if that feels good. 4, 3, 2, and finding that pause at 1, straightening that spine. Let's come into a bound position, either a diamond or a butterfly. The bottoms of our feet are connected. You'll notice how this feels in your hip flexors, your inner thighs. And just taking a moment to connect your hands to your ankles or your feet if that feels good for you. And we can option to flap our knees, our legs like a butterfly if that feels good. Or maybe we're in a diamond pose, which means our feet are slightly further away from the body. Diamond or a butterfly is a little bit deeper in the hips. Just hang out here with that chin slightly up, spinal cord is nice and long, tummies are tucked in at the navel for 4 breaths. And with each breath, notice how the knees comes closer to the earth, allowing the body, the hips, the hip flexors to relax. The more we relax, the closer those hips comes to the earth, the closer the knees. And if we choose, we can slightly hinge at the hips. And when you hinge at the hips, you'll feel that stretch a little deeper in your hip flexors. So only hinging forward as much as your body comfortably allows you to hinge, and optioning to breathe your palms flat on the ground and stretch them out in front of you, and notice that stretch in your inner thighs as well as your lumbar spine. Maybe tucking that chin into your clavicle for 4, 2, we're going to hang out here for a couple more breaths. Feeling those shoulders melt forward, eyes gaze down, 2 more breaths. And we're going to use our fingers to lift our bodies up. And we're going to breathe our knees together, coming into a staff pose. Our legs are parallel side by side, straight in front of us. Staff pose. Tummies are tight, and we're going to slightly hinge at the hips. And now we're in that seated half forward fold. Hinging at the hips, you'll feel that pull behind your legs and your hamstrings. And we can opt you to come into a full body stretch, a complete forward fold, by reaching our hands down to our ankles or our feet. And you'll feel a little deeper stretch in your hamstrings. Our heart chakra comes closer to our thighs. Maybe our chin is connected to our clavicle. Breathe in. Exhale. 5 breaths. Two more breaths. Feeling that nice deep stretch. And we're going to slowly come on up, just using our palms to lift our torso up. We are back in that staff pose. Spinal cords are nice and elongated. That pelvic bone is tilted forward. See that there? Tilting that pelvic bone forward. Nice elongated spine. Your chest, your heart chakra is lifted. Chin is up. As we breathe our palms to the side and up in the air, feeling that nice deep stretch like that morning stretch. Optioning to interlace your fingers, breathing your hands together. Maybe our arms flow slightly to the back of the room. And you'll feel your shoulder blades, your back muscles get nice and tight here. Chin is up for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling that body up, breathing the palms together. Exhale, palms come down their heart center. Gazing forward. Our toes are pointed up or they're pointed downward here in our staff pose. For 3, 2, allowing those shoulders to relax down away from the ears. 1. We're going to come nice and wide-legged in our staff pose. Breathing those legs apart. We are in that staff pose, that straddle pose. Optioning to hinge at the hips just a little. Notice when you hinge at the hips, you will feel that pull behind your legs and your hamstrings, slightly on the side of your buttocks, maybe a little bit in the inner thighs as well. Optioning to breathe your palms to your knees, your ankles, or your toes. We also can breathe our palms in front of us, flat on the earth, and come closer to the earth. Just taking a moment to play around with this pose. We are stretching and we are lengthening the body here. We're working the hamstrings, the lumbar spine for 5, 3 breaths. Feel that nice deep stretch for 2 more breaths. Using our palms to lift our bodies up. Just using those palms, lift that torso away from the earth. We're going to slightly just lift our feet off the earth, breathing our knees closer to our torso. Let's take those feet off the earth and you'll feel your abdominal muscles working here. We're going to flow into a boat pose. Whatever boat pose feels good for you, there are several different types of boat pose variations. So going into your boat pose and keeping that abdominal muscles nice and engaged here. Spinal cord is nice and elongated. That's going to keep us up in that boat pose. This is a balancing pose. It also works the core as well as the obliques. You'll also feel it in your thighs, your quads as well. Gazing forward and just holding out and hanging out in your boat pose of choice for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a nice deep breath. Hold the pose. Exhale and keeping those knees high in the air. We are in our boat pose and we're going to simply just breathe our palms in front of our bodies and we're going to pound our palms from side to side. Further working the obliques. Maybe we cross our feet at our ankles to keep our balance. If that feels good, we're going to do this for 6. Going as fast or as slow as you choose. 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to find that pause. Let's come back into a bound position. Diamond or butterfly, slightly hinging at the hips for 4. Taking a nice breath. On our exhale, we're going to come on up using our palms to lift our torso up. Let's come nice and wide-legged, slightly wide-legged. And we're going to breathe this right foot into that left thigh. Right foot to left thigh. And we're going to slightly turn and pivot towards that left leg, and we're going to hinge at the hips, allowing that torso to hover over that thigh, reaching down to our knees, our ankles, or our feet, our foot. Feeling that stretch for 4 breaths. We're going to breathe in. And on that exhale, slowly lifting that body away from the earth. Let's come nice and wide-legged, and we're going to hinge at the hips. Palms flat on the earth in front of us. Walking our fingers away from us to breathe our torso closer to the earth for 3. Feeling those shoulders melt forward. 2 more breaths. On our exhale, we're going to slowly push our bodies up. And now we're going to breathe that left foot inward towards that right thigh, connecting that left foot to right thigh, slowly turning that body over that right leg and hinging over your right leg. Feeling that stretch behind your leg and your hamstring. This is a lengthening pose for 4. Two more breaths. Allowing those shoulder blades to melt forward, eyes are slightly gazed downward. 2 more breaths. And on that exhale, we're going to slowly push our bodies up. Breathing our legs in our staff pose and gazing forward just for a moment. Relaxing our palms on our laps. Our pelvic bone is tilted forward. This allows us to keep that nice elongated spine. If our pelvic bone is not tilted forward, we're kind of slouched to the back. See that there? Lifting that pelvic bone forward. Pelvic tilt. Heart chakra lift. Chin is up, shoulders relax downward away from the ears. Gaze forward for 3. Tummies are nice and tight. 2. Breathe in. Exhale. Relaxing those shoulders down. We're going to position our body to hug our knees into our chest. Hug those knees into the chest. Chin is up for 3, 2, 1. Placing those feet flat on the earth. We're going to come into a reclined position. Feet are flat on the earth. Knees are in the air. And we're going to do a bridge pose, pelvic tilt. Palms are flat on the earth. And we're going to lift that gluteus maximus off the earth. Feeling that pelvic tilt. Lifting that buttocks off the earth. You'll feel this in your gluteus maximus, the backs of your legs, your lumbar spine. Now we can come deeper in this bridge pose, pelvic tilt, by breathing our palms underneath our buttocks at our gluteus maximus and connecting our fingers and lifting our chest up and walking our shoulder blades closer to our spine. See that there? So now we're in a deeper bridge. You'll feel your back squeezing your spinal cord. That pelvic bone is tilted nice and high. This pose is great for people who sits for long periods of time. And we're going to hold this bridge pose, squeezing that gluteus maximus. So we're working on our posture, the lower spine, but we're also squeezing the gluteus maximus. Feel that squeeze? We're also squeezing our back legs. We're going to hold this for 6. Now we can option to pulse up and down in that bridge if that feels good. 5 more breaths. 3 breaths. Squeezing that gluteus maximus nice and tight. Squeeze, squeeze. Buns of still. 2 breaths. Now we're going to slightly pulse down and we're going to squeeze that gluteus maximus up. Nice and tight for 3, 2, 1. Uninterlacing those fingers, untucking those shoulder blades, breathing that gluteus maximus back down to the earth. Let's hug those knees into the chest, squeeze, squeeze. Optioning to rock or sway that body from side to side. Noticing how the earth is relaxing and soothing that spinal cord. We also can option to find that pause and flow into a happy baby by lifting our feet up in the air, knees are bent, and connecting our hands to our feet. Happy baby, this here too, the happy baby is also a hip opener. And if you rock the body from side to side, you can also massage your lumbar spine, your spinal cord. And we're going to hang out here in whatever recline position that feels good for us in this moment for 6. Four more breaths. 2. And in this pose, just taking a moment to notice how it feels within your body. Allowing the body to soothe and relax. Find comfort and peace within. For 2 more breaths. If we're rocking, maybe find still. Allowing those shoulder blades to melt to the back of the room, to the yoga mat, just feeling your body relax. Facial muscles relaxed, chin is relaxed, forehead is relaxed. Eyes are slightly gazed downward or closed. 3 more breaths of silence. If we're in a happy baby, we're going to unconnect our hands to our feet and breathe our knees to our chest. Hug them in, hug, knees to chest. And we're going to extend our legs up in the air, nice and long. We're going to point our toes to the heavens, just pointing those toes. Noticing when we point the toes, we are working at ankles. So pointing the toes, and we can even do a couple of circular rotations with our feet if that feels good. This pose is good for people who have edema, swelling in their feet, or leg pain. Just noticing how this feels. And we can actually do this pose up against the wall and just hang out here for an entire session or for a couple of minutes, using props and pillows to get comfortable in that pose if needed. And we can option to breathe our legs apart, coming nice and wide-legged in this pose. You can also do the wide-legged on the wall as well. The wall becomes your support. We do that a lot in restorative yoga. Now let's option to try to breathe our hands towards our feet. Noticing how my feet comes closer to my torso, comes closer to my head when I do that. So trying to connect the hands to the lower legs, the ankles, or the toes. And noticing how your feet slightly comes over your head. We are still wide-legged. Now we are feeling that stretch in our inner thighs and right underneath that gluteus maximus. So feeling a stretch, we are working out the tightness. Any tightness and stiffness we may have in our gluteus maximus, our hips, our sciatica. And just holding it, holding this pose, lengthening, straightening. For 4 more breaths. Now we can option to breathe our legs together and lift our feet over our head and come deeper into that stretch. You'll notice your gluteus maximus comes further off the earth. You'll feel this really deep in your lumbar spine, your coccyx muscle right underneath. Your spinal will even crack and relax. For 3 more breaths. 2. We are lengthening that body here. We are lengthening and stretching. Exhale up, legs on the wall. Pointing those toes. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale. As our knees comes towards our chest, feet are flat on the earth. We are in that reclined position. Now let's do a reclined spinal twist. I'm going to start on the left side, allowing the knees to flow towards the left. You'll feel that spinal cord start to twist and decompress. Optioning to breathe that right arm out to the side. Just like a lowercase t, just straightening that arm out to the side as we gaze up at the heavens, the ceiling, or we can gaze over that right shoulder. And just notice how this feels in your spinal cord, like we're twisting and wringing out a rag, trying to get the water out of a rag. What's happening here in this pose is our spinal cord is decompressing. That lumbar spine is relaxing and soothing. We are slightly spreading the disc apart as we are twisting the lumbar spine, allowing anything that's stuck within our disc, anything that don't belong in our bodies, we are giving it a way to escape. A lot of times germs and etc. hides within our body. So let's stretch our ligaments apart. Let's stretch our spinal cord to allow things to release from it. Eyes are slightly gazed down and closed. Now, in our reclined spinal twist, we can do an option to hand to toe reclined spinal twist. See that there? So that leg that's on the top, stretch it out. That left hand connected to your toe and allow the leg to relax to the side. That's called a reclined spinal twist, hand to toe. And that is an option that we can do. We're going to take 5 breaths of silence to relax and soothe. Two more breaths. And on that exhale, we're going to come back to center, hugging those knees into the chest. Feet are flat on the earth, and the knees is going to flow towards the right-hand side. Recline spinal twist, opposite side. Noticing how that feels in your spinal cord. You may feel it a whole lot in that lumbar spine, your lower spine. Optioning to breathe the left arm out to the side, nice and straight to the side like a lowercase t. Shoulders are just melted towards the back of the yoga mat. Eyes are gazed down and closed. And we can gaze up at the ceiling, or we can gaze over that left shoulder. Noticing that when we gaze over that left shoulder, we come a little bit deeper into that twist. And we can option to come into a reclined spinal twist hand to toe by connecting that right hand to that left foot. That's a nice option if we choose to do so. Eyes gaze down and close. Four breaths of silence. Two more breaths. And on our exhale, we're going to flow back to center, hugging those knees into the chest. Placing the feet flat on the earth, knees are high in the air. And we're going to come into that bridge pose. Once more, lifting that gluteus maximus off the earth, filling your gluteus maximus, your buttocks get nice and tight. We are rounding and lifting the buttocks. The buttocks is the biggest muscle in the body. We can make it bigger, we can round it, we can lift it. But it's going to take daily practice and working on it consistently. Just squeeze it up. This is also a lovely pelvic tilt, tilting that pelvic bone up. We're working on our alignment. For 6, 5, 4, 2, we're going to hold this pose, and on that 1, we're going to slightly come down, but not all the way. Come down just a little, and we're going to pulse it back up and feel that squeeze. Squeezing that gluteus maximus for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relaxing down. We're going to come into a reverse pigeon pose, starting on the right side, the right foot. Right ankle is going to cross over that left thigh, above that left knee. And we're going to lift that left leg off the earth. Breathe in your body, your leg towards your torso. Feel that there? And we can use our hands if we choose to hug it in. And notice and feel that stretch and that soothing in your right gluteus maximus. This is a reverse pigeon. And feel that stretch for 4, 3, and on our 1, we're going to exhale our feet flat on the earth, knees are in the air. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale. And we're going to reverse pigeon opposite side. Taking that left foot, left ankle, cross it over that right thigh, right above that knee. We're going to lift that right leg off the earth, hugging the knee, the leg into the chest. And we're going to feel that stretch, that lengthening, that soothing in our left gluteus maximus. Eyes are slightly gazed down and closed. Our shoulder blades are just relaxed to the back of the yoga mat, just feeling our shoulders relax. 4, 2 more breaths. And on that 1, we're going to exhale out, placing our feet on the earth, knees are high in the air, and let's tilt that gluteus maximus off the earth, pelvic tilt bridge pose. Just lift it up, squeeze, squeeze for 5, 4, 3. Taking a nice breath. On an exhale, our gluteus maximus is going to come to the earth. And we're going to roll onto our side, coming into a fetal pose and using our hands to protect our neck, creating that proper alignment. And just taking a moment here in our fetal pose to slightly gaze the eyes down or close the eyes. Just taking a moment to check in with self. Noticing how we feel right here, right now, in our present moment. 4 breaths. Few more breaths. We're going to wiggle our toes at our ankles. We're going to wiggle our body, and we're not done our practice just yet. We're going to use that hand to push our bodies up, and let's come into our cat cow. We are on our hands and our knees, and we're going to drop that body down to that cow. And that cow pose, feel your tummy come close to the earth. You'll feel that little dent in your back. Arms are straight, chin is slightly up. And just notice how that cow pose feels in that lumbar spine. And we can option to do a couple of circular rotations here at our cat cow, noticing how that feels in our hips, how we are loosening up that body. We are relaxing that body, moving those hips for 4 more breaths. And we can option to also move our neck in this pose to completely work that spinal cord for 3 more breaths. Tummies are nice and tight. 2 breaths. And on that pause, on that 1, we're going to pause and come to table, and then we're going to flow into cat pose. Our chin comes to our clavicle, that spinal cord flows up towards the heavens. Tummies are nice and tight. And we're going to do cat cows to our natural breath. Listening to your body and your cat cows for 3 more breaths. Do breaths. We're going to flow down to cow, exhale to cat, and we're going to push our bodies up to down dog, gazing at the feet. Now we get an option to walk our dog by pedaling our feet left and right. Noticing how this down dog works the arms, the shoulders, the back blades. We're going to find that pause. Let's shift that weight forward, coming into a high plank or a low plank. The low plank, we're on our forearms. The high plank, we're on our palms. Whatever feels best for you. For 3, 2, exhale back down dog. Exhale high plank or low plank. For 4, 3, 2, flowing back down dog, gazing at the feet. Now let's flow to up dog. Thighs are hovering over the earth, but they are not connected. Up dog. Now in cobra, our thighs are connected to the earth. See that we are on our knees, connected to the earth. Up dog, untuck those toes, take those knees, thighs off the earth. They look very similar, but they are not actually the same. For 3, 2, let's drop to our knees. Let's come into a child's pose or a puppy pose. Whatever feels best for you. Child's pose and puppy pose looks very similar. Puppy pose, buttocks is high in the air. Legs are slightly together. Torso comes down towards the earth. If our arms are extended in front of us, palms flat on the earth, we are in that extended puppy pose. In our child's pose, our gluteus maximus is closer to our heels of our feet. Our legs are slightly apart, and that is the child's pose. Arms extended in front of us comes into that extended child's pose. We can bring our palms together, flow our palms over our heads, making it a child's pose prayer hands. We can even connect our palms, breathe our palms to our feet in our child's pose. Whatever pose you choose, child's pose or puppy pose. May we allow our shoulders, our heart chakra to just melt closer to the earth, feeling that body relax and soothe. May we allow our eyes to slightly gaze downward or close. And we're going to use our child's pose or puppy pose to take this time to focus on self, to go inward and just check in with how we feel right here, right now in our present moment for 10 natural breaths of silence. 4 more breaths. Coming into that extended child's pose or puppy pose, meaning our palms are flat on the earth, extended in front of us. We're going to do a spinal wave, using our palms to wave our bodies out of our child's pose or puppy pose, and then using our palms to wave our buttocks towards the heels of our feet. And we're going to do 4 spinal waves or 4 natural breaths, spinal waves, on as fast or as slow as your spinal cord needs, keeping that tummy nice and tight. 3 more breaths. 2 breaths. We're going to find that pause at our breath and come into that tabletop pose. And let's drop down to cow and flow to cat. Back to cow. Come into cat. And we're going to cross our feet at our ankles and come into any seated pose that feels good for you. I'm going to come into a cow face legs. We also can option to come into any reclined position that feels best for you if you want to end this session in a reclined relaxation pose. Cow face legs for me. Tummies are nice and tight. Pelvic bone is tilted forward, which means our chest lifts up. Shoulders relax down away from my ears. Chin is slightly up. This creates that nice elongated spot, elongated posture. Connecting our hands to our feet or our laps or coming into prayer hands, whatever feels best for you. If our hands are connected to our feet, may we take the time to just squeeze and massage each toe, starting from the pinky or the big toe and going in the opposite direction. Just showing the feet a little love, a little attention, doing the magic, releasing anything that might be in our toes, just playing around. We can also option to go into our feet, the ball of our foot, the heel of our foot, wherever your hands, your fingers takes you. And we're going to move nice and slow. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 more breaths. And we're going to find that pause and breathe our palms at heart center or relax our palms on our lap, whatever feels best for you. As we use this time to thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to practice self-care here today. For in the busy, busy world, it is a beautiful thing when we find time for self. And I would like to thank you all for allowing me to practice self-care with you here today, for it truly, truly is a blessing. The light in me sees, appreciates, and respects the light in you all. Namaste. Thank you.